Talking horses now, as riders think about spring and warmer temperatures, it's the perfect time to catch up with our extension equine specialist Kris Hiney for a tack demonstration.
So if you're going to check saddle fit, we actually start with the horse without wearing the pad, but you want to make sure he's on level ground and they're actually standing square, so when you put the saddle on you can really see how it's fitting on that horse. So what we're looking for here, is the saddle too big for this horse? No, because his hips are able to move correctly with this saddle. And what we're really looking for, we want to make sure there's clearance over his wither. We don't want that saddle ever pressing directly down on that horse's wither. And we're looking to see, essentially, does the tree of the saddle fit around his withers and shoulders to make sure that it's not going to pinch on that horse or cause any pain. So we're just going to kind of compare a little bit how this other saddle fits on Boss, see which one we would prefer. So this one, kind of small, fits up a little bit tighter on this horse's back. And so if you put your hand under here, you can kind of feel for where that pressure might increase once we tighten this. So ideally, we're spreading that point of pressure out over the horse's back, which is going to make him more comfortable. If a horse has a saddle that tree, let's say, is too narrow, it puts a lot of pressure in a very localized area on that horse. And then when we tighten the cinch, that puts even more pressure. So a lot of horses will get really sore over their withers. Or if that saddle is, maybe bouncing or fitting incorrectly, it can create a lot of back soreness. So a lot of behavioral problems with horses may actually be due to poor fitting equipment that just makes them uncomfortable. So proper tack fit is really important to have a healthy, happy horse. So when you're fitting bridles for horses, there's a lot of pieces to consider that people don't always think about. Horses obviously have different size heads, so we can adjust the length of the bridle, which will adjust where the bit fits in the horse's mouth. But if the brow band isn't wide enough, it can actually pull the bridle up forward on the horse's ears. Or if we have shaped ear bridles, again, that don't fit well, it can kind of pinch on the horse's ears, so that's really important to look at. So we don't want to have a bridle that essentially looks like this is pulling forward on his ears. So our crown piece here sits back enough that his ear fits properly in this and it's not putting pressure on him anywhere. And then in Western bridles, we always really want to check how the curb chain fits because again, that can affect how the bit acts. And again, a too tight curb chain can really create some severe bit action in the horse. So everything has to be adjusted to fit the horse correctly for, again, the horse to perform correctly and to be comfortable. I readjusted the cavesson so it fits a little up closer on this horse's face. And again, I still have enough room. I can get my fingers under there. That's what we're looking for. And we have just a little bit of wrinkle there in his mouth. So this one needed a little bit of adjustment before we would actually go ride Boss here. Halters come in different sort of sizes and varieties. This is just a basic web halter, but you want to make sure that the halter fits the horse that you have. Now this is an example of what we would not be looking for. So I grabbed a halter that is clearly too big for this guy, okay? So if you look, we have so much space here, and this could easily actually come right off of his head, rendering it rather useless. So halter fit is very, very important, that we actually buy a halter that fits correctly for that horse. If you want your horse to be a willing partner and to be an athlete, their equipment has to fit them correctly. If we want them to be able to work with us, perform well, their equipment has to fit correctly.